What's up, Gran Turismo fans? In this series, I teach you how to avoid chaos and bad driving in lower ranked lobbies. To get clean races in Gran Turismo 7, you need to obey 4 rules. If you obey these rules, I personally guarantee you will see an uptick in the quality of your races and the average results. My YouTube comment sections are littered with people saying this worked for them, so let's go over the 4 rules. If there is a group of cars ahead of you, do not engage. Statistically, groups of cars in lower ranks result in multiple crashes. Don't roll the dice, pick up positions for free when it inevitably happens. Don't go outside people you don't trust. The odds are you will get pushed off. Make friends and allies on and off track. The more enemies you have, the less chance of a clean race. Don't overreact. Whatever happened, you only make it worse. It's been a while since I did one of these, and we're going to do this one a little bit differently. Some of it will be live commentary, and some of it will be me looking at the replays post-race. In order to make my pace more representative of a B rank lobby, I may use Fuel Map 2, and I will be deliberately holding back. The idea is to show you that it's not my pace which gets clean races, but my situational awareness and decision making. So we're going to be starting from the back on the hard tyre, and the fundamental principle that underpins and governs those 4 rules that I gave you is patience. Patience is going to serve you a lot better in sim racing than ego. I've done videos about that too, so if you're new, go check them out. These strategies that I'm teaching, by the way, these 4 rules and the underpinning patient approach, it works far better in Daily Race C because you have more time. There's more time to recover, there's more time for more incidents to happen to other people, for race pace to pay off. It doesn't work in Daily Race B very well. So we've got a slow car up ahead, something seems to have happened. Don't be pushing for moves in this situation. This is exactly rule number 1. This is the group of cars that you need to not engage. This is why. You see this happening? We're going to go past him because he's made a mistake, but that's not making an overtake. And this is why you need to be patient. Okay, and that did put us in an overtake position. It wasn't a deliberate overtake. I just managed the traffic better than he did. Okay, we actually got past him before the corner. Being very careful not to hang it around the outside of someone there. Right, these guys are going to send it. I'm going to let them go. This is something else I want you to do, right? Do not be afraid to give up positions. It's all down to the law of probabilities and the high probability that most people at this level make major race-ruining mistakes. So you've got to be the one guy that doesn't make a major race-ruining mistake. Okay, so here's another position. Okay, we got that. Alright, so we're up to P12. I mean, we're not going to win this race, don't get me wrong. It's not the point. I'm just showing you how to manage traffic, how to manage racecraft. Someone else is off track. Okay. Situational awareness. I saw that before the Ferrari in front, and I hit the brakes, and that just saved my race. Otherwise, I was dead like the Ferrari. Now, if you're in aggressive, egotistical, push mode, go for moves at every possibility mode, you're not going to see that. You're just not going to see it and react in time. But if you're in taking it easy, chill out, drive within your limits mode, you see that kind of thing happening. You can see our pace is very reflective of a fast B driver. Granted, I'm going to be a bit more consistent. Granted, I've got better anticipation of what's happening, but that's what I'm trying to teach you guys. I think this guy's on hard tyres. I'm not going to go outside. He's defending. Be patient. I promise you this will not end well for him or the other car. The idea is to make it end well for you. Now, if you're on the inside here, you've got the corner, right? So you don't have to concede. If someone tries to hold the outside, I'll go over that in the replay. I'll go over his mistake. He just made a race ruining mistake. I'll explain it in the replay. So we know this guy's already likely to defend. We're not going to send it. We're not going to do a low percentage move. How many times have you made moves on someone where it's gone wrong and then ultimately you think, you may not like to admit it to yourself, but if you hadn't gone for that move, you would still be in the race. So there you go. He got a bad exit. We got the position. So rule number 1, don't engage a group of cars, but situationally that might be as little as 2 drivers. What you're looking for there is, how are the 2 drivers in front of me driving? If they're driving recklessly, hitting each other, getting aggressive, that's a group of cars you don't want to get involved in, even though it's only 2. If you follow them for a couple of laps, they appear to be clean, like these guys. That I don't see any red flags. I don't see anything that's of concern at the moment. They are trying to race each other clean. Then this is a group that you could get involved with. However, we're going to take the patient approach and just wait for one of them to make a mistake. Like that. Let's go inside because we don't want to go outside. And just as we observed, he's showing us space because he was being clean with the other guy. Now here, unless he gets in front of me, okay, fine. I backed out. If you didn't back out of that situation, you probably wreck both of your races. Usually the guy on the inside can claim that corner and it's the guy on the outside that needs to back out. So that gives us a nice comparison to the other incident earlier on in the race. Don't go outside him. Even though he's shown himself to be trustworthy at the moment, don't go outside him. But yeah, sorry, getting back to that kink, I backed out of it even though I was on the inside because he just had more straight line speed. And by the time we get to the turning point, I would have only barely been in touch with his rear bumper, which isn't enough to claim the corner. Mr. Gear. So that's why there's been 2 chances for us to have ruined our own race in this race so far, and twice we've avoided it by making the right decision. Right, the guy in 5th has a penalty, so if we close up enough, we'll be there to take that position. So what you want to do in this situation is not battle NRGX3 here in front of us. Don't battle him. He's closing up. So just work with him. Close up together. We'll give him a little bit of a bump draft here. And then move over here so he knows we're not going to battle. Didn't get the message. He stayed defending. That's a shame. That defense probably cost us the opportunity to get P5 together. We've got to get a lot closer. Yeah, he's defending everything now. Going for a wide berth. I'm not going around the outside. I don't trust it. Yeah, I don't think he would have left enough room. Not necessarily deliberately. But this isn't especially smart driving from NRGX3, because if he had just kept his foot in, we could have caught up to this guy. Or are we going to catch up anyway? Looks like maybe we do get it. Okay, he's fortunate. So the guy NRGX3 is very fortunate that we took that position, because there was so much defending it almost wasn't going to happen. He wants the inside, we will let him have it. And we've got hit. And we're pushed wide. Right, don't overreact. Don't overreact. If you overreact, you ruin your race. If you stay chill, you still bring home P8. It's bad driving from, I think, Nicola. This is why you don't want to overreact, because we're going to get one of those positions back. So we've got a consolation prize. So it would have been P5, but that happens. That happens. I've said many times, not everything is avoidable with these strategies, with these 4 rules, with the idea of being patient. You can't avoid everything. At least we didn't ram the guy off the track in revenge, ruin RSR and tank our DR as well, and then complain about why we can't get out of B lobbies. This could very much have been a race-ending moment. So driver off track, coming back. This is a very bad re-entry. This is a terrible re-entry. You know, have some sense of what a safe re-entry is. But this guy doesn't do the right thing at all. So he just relies on the ghosting system. He just relies on that car should ghost and doesn't take evading action, doesn't hit the brake, doesn't lift. Straight steering, full throttle, straight to the scene of the accident. 100% avoidable on this guy's part. By contrast, I'm looking ahead. I'm not looking at the Ferrari. I'm looking ahead. This is where you should be looking anyway. So I'm seeing this Renault returning to track in an unsafe manner. I'm cognizant from experience that there's a distinct possibility he won't ghost in time. So what do? I hit the brakes. And because of that, I survive. It's basically impossible to go side by side through this corner. Impossible. Don't even entertain it. So, knowing whether you should concede or not is about letting the ego go. Because I don't think most of you need me to explain this in detail. I think you just need to let go of the ego of, I'm not going to give up a position. The guy we're looking at here has to concede it to me. The reason he has to concede it is because he's not far enough ahead. I still have a significant overlap here. 50% of the car, okay? For me to concede it, it needs to look like the next clip that I'll show you when we look at this corner with the other guy. But this is my corner. By the rules of racing, if you have a 50% overlap with someone heading into a corner, you need to concede it. All this guy needs to do is just lift off the throttle, brake a bit early, and tuck in behind me. But what he tries to do is hold the outside. Now there's contact, but that's not my fault because you can't go side by side through this corner. It's not possible. So this is his fault for not conceding the corner. And as a result, look what happens. He just ruined his own race. I know he got hit when he was part off track, and that probably resulted in him spinning. But none of that would have happened if he'd given up the position in the first place. Same corner. Not exactly the same situation. Yes, I'm on the inside again. Yes, there is a car on my outside again. The difference this time is the overlap. Maybe an inch. That's not enough to claim the position. So I back out of it. In that situation, if the guy on the inside forces the move without a more significant overlap, you're both going to end up crashing out of the race. So let's have a look what caused this contact at the end of the race then. So Nicola has a penalty. Serves the penalty. Tries to squeeze. That's okay as long as you leave room. You can squeeze. Okay, let's stop right here. Now, I haven't watched this yet, but I can almost guarantee I can see what's happening. The Audi on the right-hand side is now freaking Nicola out. Nicola is now concerned about losing a 3rd place, not just 2 places. My gamble here is that Nicola tries to brake late to save this last position. Yeah, basically. Okay, there's contact. That probably put her off. I wouldn't call this deliberate. This is definitely a mistake. However, you can't claim that position. You've got to back off. You've got to give that position back to me in this case. I'm the victim here. Rule number 3, making friends and allies. Nicola, if I met another driver, has now made an enemy of me. And I could have punted her off in this race, or I might go into the next race and punt her off. That happens. If Nicola lifts, lets me go, and then says sorry at the end, now we're friends. And now we can be allies on track because we can trust each other. Am I ghosted? Why am I... Oh, it's a bug start. Why am I the only one that's ghosted? This could make for a very unfair race if I can just ghost through everybody. Okay, I'm not ghosted anymore. That's fine. We're not ghosted anymore. So this is definitely what I would constitute a large group of cars in front of you. Take advantage of mistakes, but don't push for positions. This is a much tighter field spread than it would normally be due to that start. So just keep the pressure on, stay with the pack, try not to make any mistakes, because a lot of people are going to make mistakes. This is a very, very large group of cars. There are going to be a lot of mistakes. Wasn't Nobby on pole? I think he's going to be feeling somewhat desperate to reclaim some positions here. Right, remember the last video? Sorry, the last race? Let's see if this guy gives the position up. He didn't. And that didn't work out well. Yeah, there we go. Someone else is crashing. Look how many more incidents there are when the field spread is tighter together. Just due to that start, we suddenly got lots of cars flying off on the first 1 or 2 laps. Give room. Did we get it? Yeah, we did. Let's get a slipstream. Because that Swift is very fast in a straight line. Defend the inside. Keep it tight, don't run deep. If you run deep there, someone's going to put their car in the gap. Right, we've got a penalty with P8, right? So once again, we're not going to push for a move on P9. We're just going to stay patient and stay behind him, because that increases the possibility that we can get a position from P8 when he serves his penalty. Looks like we're close enough to get this position, especially if they battle in front of us. That's nice, good driving from those guys. I think we'll just take the position now though. I tried to take avoiding action. Okay, he got sideways, didn't ghost. I hit the brake to try and not hit him, but he just still did not ghost. That's not my fault. He lost control in front of me, so that's why I'm not waiting. Especially since I tried to avoid him. I tried to hit the brakes. That is just a racing incident. So, same as before. We've got 2 cars ahead of us. That could constitute a group of cars that you don't want to get involved with if they're driving recklessly. Let's see what happens here, because if they get through this cleanly, then these are 2 cars that I'd be happy to engage with. There we go. They gave each other room. Alright, now I know that I can trust them. At least as far as not deliberately being dirty is concerned. Mistakes, of course, is another thing. So let's see if we can go for a move inside here. Oh, take avoiding action. Okay, take note of what I did there, right? I braked too late. I did not try and keep the position. Those guys now trust me because I backed out of that. They saw that I went deep. They saw that I tried to keep it really tight in order to not take them out. So they start to develop trust in me, rather than me taking advantage of my own mistake. Right, I'm going to look at that in the replay. He was trying to give me room, I was trying to give him room. He just cut it a little bit too tight because I was on the curb. There's nowhere else I could go. Why am I in 4th gear? Okay, I'm going to have to defend this because I'm in 4th gear. We need to talk about that as well. He was going for a switchback into a corner that you cannot perform a switchback on. Oh, he sent it. And I saw it coming. We'll talk about that as well. So the Alpha's being very aggressive. So just stay patient. Don't start seeing red. Don't start getting frustrated, angry, and acting on ego and emotions in this situation. Just stay chill. Otherwise, you're going to be one of the cars that goes off track. We got hit. Oh, and pushed. Wow, okay. Alright, now they're getting... Yeah, I'm going to call it dirty. We'll have a look at it in the replay. Just stay chill. How you emotionally react to everything that just happened dictates whether you survive the race. Think about it. It's happened to you. You've had these situations happen to you. And you got angry, you overreacted, you did something unwise and stupid, and then you weren't there to benefit when they do something unwise and stupid. Which they already are. Look at this Alpha. I'm going to do the opposite of what this Alpha does. So if he pits, I'm going to stay out, and vice versa, because he's dangerous. He's going to go for a move, I'm sure of it. He's trying to go for moves in places where it's just not possible to go for moves. Doesn't have the car control to pull it off. I'm not going outside him because I don't trust him. There you go, he's not giving me room, squeezing already. And we're going to... Oh, come on. It looked like he pitted because I pitted there, I don't know. Hard to tell. Now what we do know is this guy's in a 4-wheel drive car on soft tyres. His tyres are going to die. Wait, are we going to ghost through him? Yes, we are. Okay, let's get a good corner here. So that's worth considering as well. Like, yes, that's an exploit, but it's just the way the game is. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Back off and give the Alpha the position back? So if you're in a car that has a faster pit exit, that is a legitimate way of going past someone. People do it in top split all the time. So let's just look after the tyres a little bit. Two cars battling up ahead. Oh my days, dude, seriously? Let's flash the lights at him. Yeah, that's not cool. You can't do that, man. You can't do that. That's not even a push to pass. That's just a torpedo. That is not how you gain a position. And he's not winning friends there. He's making enemies. You do that enough, at some point someone's just going to deliberately punt you off. It's not going to be me. What I'm going to do is stay behind him and pressure him into a mistake. Let's go inside if we can. He's defending it. I'm going to back out of this at the last second because he won't give room. There you go. We'd have got pushed off. Terrible driving. What he did there was defend from me. I stayed left, so he went left to defend. He braked late to defend against me, and in the process took someone else out. Got to defend this because he is that kind of driver. Slow on the apex. I knew I was going to get hit there, right? I knew it was going to happen. I just know that slower drivers don't understand slow in, fast out. So if I went into that corner, look what's happening. I told you that would happen. Slower drivers don't understand slow in, fast out properly. So if I went into that corner with the correct line, guarantee he was going to hit me off. Deliberately or otherwise. In this case, probably deliberately from the way he was driving. So I took a defensive line and I deliberately overslowed the apex. I parked it on the apex. It's not a brake check. I was taking a very, very narrow line into the apex. Slower drivers can't think that far ahead. They try to push every inch of the track. What I'm driving at, if I hadn't done exactly what I did, position the car exactly where I did, and parked on the apex exactly like I did, I guarantee I would be in the sand. Guarantee it. From the way that guy was driving. And another spinner. He's ghosted, but let's give him wide berth just in case he unghosts, which he did. He unghosted as we went past him. So if you try to go through him there, you roll the dice that he unghosts right as you go through him. If you've watched my recent videos, do you see how this is thinking in probabilities? All of it. It is all just thinking what is the most likely thing to happen at this moment in time. Gathering as much information and data points as you can manage, what's the most likely outcome of a given situation? And by extension, what is the best course of action given all of that information that you can gather? What is the best thing to do at this moment in time given the full picture of what's actually happening? So there we go. Right, let's go and look at the replay. So that's really nice. That's really well done. But then unfortunately, he gets sent and pushed, and the overtaking car completely pushes him wide and misses the apex. And that's what leads to me now being alongside. Let's look again at that overlap. Right. Now, is Lexi thinking emotionally here or thinking calmly in probabilities? Once again, it's exactly the same situation. I know he's angry at what just happened with those other drivers, but trying to make up for it by holding the outside of this kink, it's not going to make your race better. And what happens? His race goes from bad to worse. Okay? Bad to worse. And what's sad is he probably groups me along with the other drivers that have pushed to pass him. He probably looks at this as the same thing that happened on the previous corner and thinks he's being pushed wide on two corners. That's simply not true. I had the inside with a significant overlap. Where am I supposed to go? So you can see the lack of situational awareness here. You can see that Lexi's trying to turn into the corner and I'm there. This isn't just a lack of situational awareness. This is a lack of knowledge of the width of your car. He goes for a switchback here. Now, it's not technically true what I said. You can do a switchback here, but you don't get the switchback till further up the hill. You can't get the switchback on the apex, and that's what he's trying to do. And he just ends up hitting the curb and making life worse. It might not be deliberate looking at the replay, but he definitely should return the position. And once he's made contact, he definitely should have left me room on the outside. So it looked like a classic situation of an accidental overtake, but then he just takes advantage of the situation anyway. So there's the hit. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but I'm going to take the position anyway. So exiting the pits, and I gain 2 positions through the ghosting. Now, driver behind doesn't take kindly to this, so I don't know if he considered that to be unfair. Again, it's not my fault that the game ghosted me in front of them. This looks every bit the deliberate dive bomb torpedo to me. This is just as nasty and as dirty as it gets. Again, if it is an accident, give the position back. So same driver, he actually gives me room here. I was expecting him to do something more dramatic, but he opens it up. I keep it really tight. If I open up this corner, I'm going to get sent. So I stay tight, which means I have to slow the apex down. He hits me. And now he overreacts to that situation by getting himself sent off track.